Well, morning everybody. Welcome to Moxi Monday in August. My name is JD. I'm your digital marketing and technologies manager, and I've got a pretty straightforward Moxi Monday for you guys today, but one that we always like to get the announcement out in there for, and I want to get right to it. So I'm respectful of your guys' time. There's one thing I wanted to show you guys before we dive into the main topic, which is if you go to the Moxi Hub, which is where we have a lot of our sort of sign-in links for stuff, you're going to notice at the top here the Schmidt family of companies directory. We've had a few questions about why that's there, where that came from, so I just wanted to cover that super quick. But basically, we had the directory on Schmidt Resources. So if you needed to figure out who to reach out to, not who to reach out to for certain things on Schmidt, you could go here, and what this directory has is it has all of our leadership's contact information and the addresses, phone numbers, managers, and ASCs for all of our offices. So as I scroll through here, you can see the marketing team here, you can see the accounting team, and then if you keep going, we'll eventually, and HR, of course, very, very important, reload and referrals, and then we get to all of our regions with all this stuff here. So the reason we moved it into the hub versus Schmidt Resources is basically we wanted this to be a little bit more protected is the bulk of it. You know, there's nothing here that's not necessarily public information within the team, however, or within the company. However, just with how wicked some of the scammers are getting online, or the spam texts and phone calls and all that stuff, everyone keeps getting more and more of. We just wanted to put another level of security in front of this, but we also didn't want to give everybody like a password to remember. Like, I can make anything on Schmidt Resources password protected, but all of a sudden now we've got 2,000 agents and however many staff who have to remember whatever that password is. So we simply moved it into the Moxi Hub, so there's no extra password besides whatever your password into Moxi is, and then it's right here at the top of Moxi. So I saw Rhonda say I was just looking for that the other day. We just did this, I want to say a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago. So if you, your fellow agents, or the agents, if you're one of our ASCs or managers, if your agents are wondering where the directory is, it is here. Should be right at the top of your Moxi Hub. So just wanted to go over that, let you guys know that that's there and what the purpose is, yada yada, all that good jazz. What I wanted to talk about in terms of actual Moxi topics, although I suppose that's one as well. I just wanted to share with you guys where you can find the updated, where you can find the Blue Book and Black Book pages. So if you guys, I'm sure you guys hopefully know that our Blue Book and Black Books are digital versions, right? You can use the CB Blue Book and CB Black Book. We have Moxi Mondays on how you can add these into your websites so that people can view them right from your site. But we also have always taken it a step further and brought all of these pages into Moxi Present so that you can leverage these in your listing presentations, and that way you don't have to, if you don't want to have all 36 pages in there. Let's say, for example, if you love like these pages, I'm trying to find the social ones or something like that we can use, but maybe there's one or two specific pages that you want to add to your like something like this, right? The number one most visited real estate brand online. Maybe that's that particular page you want to have in your presentation. We've created it so that all of these pages are individually added into Moxi Present for you to leverage. So I just wanted to show you guys where those are, how you can add those to your presentation. It's pretty straightforward, thankfully. So what I am in right now is simply Moxi Present, as if I'm making a listing presentation for anything. Obviously, I have a bunch of pre-made ones here, but of course, if you were to go to Create New, pick your set, kind of walk through the normal steps, this, of course, would also be available there. I'm just going to go to this one right here because I want to focus on the new pages, not the creation of the whole thing, so that you guys can see some of this stuff here. So I went to edit on the presentation, and so of course, as always, you can edit any part of the presentation you want, the estimates, the listings, etc. But I'm going to go to the very last tab up here, which is Pages. I'll see if I can even zoom in a little bit more so you guys can, there we go. So I went to Pages right up here across the top, and what this does is it shows you the, obviously, the pages you have for your current presentation, what the pages are and the order they are in. What you can do here is, of course, you can remove pages you don't want, and you can do that by simply clicking the X over here. So I can go over there and click the little X, click remove, and I can remove a bunch of these old pages here. I'm just doing this for example. So we removed a bunch of those. I can move these around, like maybe I want my property summary before my profile. I can just drag and drop. But of course, you see there right at the top the Add Page button. It's the big button at the top of that left bar. If you click on Add Page, you can do a couple of things. You can always create your own pages if you want to add these to a presentation. If you have a PDF of literally anything, you can upload that PDF and use those pages, whether it's one page or multiple, as pages in your digital presentation if you so choose. Maybe you have a custom page made from, maybe it was for a listing presentation, maybe it's like an overview of the kind of marketing you do, whatever that is. You can also build your own page, which is basically, I'll just show you a quick overview. You can pick a style and then you can plug and play. You can put videos in, photos in, text in, whatever you'd like. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to Add Page, and then we're going to go to Add from Library, the top option. And the first thing you're going to see is report pages. Now what these are just kind of the standard Moxi pages from any listing presentation. So if you ever remove any of them, like if I were let's say if I'm back here on my pages and I've got these status comparisons, and I thought, oh, this is great, and then, oh shoot, I hit the wrong button, I went to click edit, I clicked remove, how do I get that one back? That is the report pages. So I go to Add Page, Add from Library, and if I scroll down, that status comparisons is right here, and I can add it. So the short version of that part of the story is you can't break anything. If you remove a page from Present on accident, you're always going to be able to re-add it because it's going to be right there. If you ever make any custom pages and save them, you'll always be able to access those as well. So if you look over here on the sidebar under Library and you go down to My Pages, you're going to see every page that you've made previously and saved yourself for your profile. So this is not anything that's shared within the company. This is just your pages. So, Bob, if you made a custom page, it would be Bob's custom page. Caroline, if you made one, it would be Caroline's, so on and so forth. And then the final one that we're going to look at right now, though, are brokerage pages, which is the second option underneath My Pages. We tried to make it as concise as possible. We have folders here. As you can see, not only do we have the Blue Book and Black Book pages that I'm going to mention in a second, we also have some for Home Hub. We also have some for Coast One Title. We've got some Join the Blue recruiting pages for our managers, and then we have an at a glance kind of bullet point list. But they're all organized by folder, and then when you go into each folder, they're organized by the title, or first of all, they're in order, and then they're organized by the title of what that page is about. So if I were to go down here to most visited residential brand, that sounds like the page I was looking for, right? Because it literally says most visited residential brand. So if I go back to that and I click on that, it's going to pull it up. I can make sure it's the one I'm looking for. It is. My internet has been very dodgy today, which is why it's taking longer for some of these things to load. I go, perfect, that is what I'm looking for. And then I can simply click Add right over here on the right, and it's going to be added to my presentation. And then I can go back to the X right over here, and I can keep searching. You don't have to go through the whole process again if you don't want to. You can just click on the one thing over and then kind of go back through it. So that really is as simple as it is. You just find the page you want. You can add as many of them as you want. Maybe I want to do, let's just do on the email marketing one, see what that looks like. My property announcements reach a targeted segment of my exclusive email list, something like that. I go perfect, I click add, and now I've got that one added as well. Now, one thing I want you guys to see quick is that when you go to the Brokerage Pages folder here, you're going to notice we still have two different folders for the Blue Book. We've got Blue Book Pages, and then we've got, which is updated from the newest edition, and we have the outdated 2022 ones. Now, the question you might be asking yourself is, why don't we just remove that folder completely? It's a great question if you are asking that yourself it. If you're not asking yourself it, now's a great time to ask it, because I'm about to answer that question. But the reason why we leave that folder there, we always leave the previous year's folder, is because if I remove this folder, if we remove all of those pages, it's going to remove them from all of your listing presentations. If you have any of these of the 2021 pages, if any of our agents do, and we just remove all those pages, it's going to remove them from all your reports as well. And the last thing I want to do is throw you a curveball in the middle of a listing presentation where you're like, there's supposed to be a couple pages here and I can't find those, and sorry about that, and then kind of all of a sudden you're off kilter and stuff like that. So we leave the previous year's version kind of active. That way those pages are still in your presentation. What I would encourage you to do, though, is if you think you do have Blue Book pages in there from last year, go in and double check and then just replace them with the updated versions. That way it's as up to date as possible, has all the relevant information and so on. But we leave the old one there just so that you don't lose it from your presentation. That being said, of course, I try to make it as clear as possible. This one literally says outdated. This one literally says updated. So hopefully that's pretty clear. So again, you go to the brokerage pages. You can pick any of these folders here. I can click Black Book Pages Updated, and then I can pull any of the updated pages here, and so on and so forth. In Black Book specifically, you're going to see some that say 2021 and some say 2022. That's okay. It's the way it's supposed to be. Some pages just weren't updated from presentation to presentation, so we only updated the ones that were needed. So everything in Black Book is up to date. Everything in the Blue Book Updated is up to date. And then if you go back to your pages across the top here, we're going to see those two pages that I added. Now, I don't know why they randomly start by adding those right in the middle of the presentation. I don't know why that's the default, but it is for some reason. So now it's just a matter of clicking and dragging. When they're in the middle right here, you can rearrange them wherever you want. Again, it's going to make the most sense depending on what the purpose of your presentation is. Do these make sense to do after all the listing information that you share? Do they make sense to share before? So maybe, you're talking about your agent profile, you talk about the property itself, all the comparisons, and then you say towards the end, here's why you should work with me. And then you drag these down towards the bottom. Again, it's going to be up to you, right? Whatever makes the most sense for you in your presentation. And then that's it. They're added to my presentation. They're added to both the web and the digital version. Or sorry, that's the same thing. The web and the print version. So if I go back to present here, and I take a look around when it loads, and I go over here to, this is the presentation we've been updating, and I click on the three dots, I can view the web version, I can view the print version, and it's going to be in both of those.